Nothing more I can say than that. And then Ashton, after that, was our main event segment, which we already discussed in here the night. So I would say this Raw review is just about over.
Holy crap, that went by fast. We can talk about Paul Heyman's promo if you want to, but it doesn't seem like we really have a lot left to say that we didn't already say.
I mean, we even kind of touched on that, though, because you mentioned what Reigns would have to do to take the title from Lesnar.
Yeah.
I mentioned how he was even getting tired of his own voice with the yak, 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 yak.
Yeah.
So we've touched on everything. This Raw review, I think, is pretty much over.
Tell you, man, still waiting for somebody to get Heyman that back brace for having carried this entire build.
I know, right? God, I love you, Heyman. But we go from that to our next segment, high spots and low shots. And you know what? I gotta say, my low shot is Daniel Bryan.
Uh-huh.
I think he was one of the favorites in this line match, and don't make no mistake, he still is. But it's very interesting to me that on SmackDown, even though, we don't really do SmackDown recaps anymore because it's on Thursday now, he lost the Intercontinental Championship Contenders Gauntlet match, last losing to Ziggler after a zigzag. I actually thought Bryan was going to get his win back here, one-on-one, but Ziggler beats him again. So, yeah, Bryan's having a tough time. He's 0-2 right now, recently, going into Mania. So, yeah, the yes man is my low shot.
Yeah, I can definitely sign on to that. My low shot is... I almost want to make it like Vince McMahon because this WrestleMania is going to have such a low buy rate, but seriously, it's going to be bad. Like, legendarily low. And I think I might have just invented a word there, but worth it. I'm going to make my low shot The Miz because we didn't talk about it, but he had a segment where he and Mizdow were interviewing Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart, and Mizdow completely outshined him there, and then he walked off with Will Ferrell, and he's probably going to end up with a gig in the next Will Ferrell movie, and it's going to be amazing. Plus, he got destroyed and pinned by Ryback tonight.
Yeah, rough night for The Miz, which is just great for Mizdow and all those who love him, so I completely agree with you there. My high spot, damn, does it feel good to say this, Bray freaking Wyatt.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Tyson Kidd.
You know what, I wish, but Natalia and those chicken fries, man, she's on my radar now as if she ever even left it. But yeah, Bray Wyatt. Yeah. What a masterful promo. It was promos like this and atmospheres that he created, like the one that he did tonight, that first made me give him the moniker of the maestro of the microphone. He has done so well in this role. I think people who were starting to feel disengaged with him have been brought back, and I say that primarily with you in mind, Ashton, because I know you were one of the people that are like, it just seems like Bray's promos. There's a little bit of repetition going on there, a little bit of redundancy, and I feel like this has been some of his best work. I love the nickname, the new face of fear. Honestly, I prefer it to Eater of Worlds.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. It's even better than Eater of Worlds, which is crazy because I loved that name too.
I mean, to me, Bray somehow always manages to do it because last year, I think Ashton can remember, I was so into, his match with Cena, so much so I even changed my Facebook profile pic as a picture of Bray swallowing a world, having it wrapped around his tongue. Like, I was so pro-Bray there, and now I have the same feeling again going into this Mania. He's one of the best workers I think we've got, in terms of the mic, and I'd even say in-ring, because I think he tells a good story and everything. He's just one of the best guys on the WWE roster right now. I have no idea who's going to go over, and I have it better figured out before previewing predictions. Cheap plug number 2.
Yeah.
And yeah, I freaking love Bray Wyatt, guys. Yeah. He's amazing.
My honorable mention, actually, is going to go to Rusev, because he had an amazing night tonight. He did win a match, although the competition isn't exactly top notch. And he beat down his opponent at WrestleMania, and that's huge. But my actual high spot, you're not going to believe this, my actual high spot goes to Nikki Bella.
You know what? I knew one of us was going to pick the women tonight. I just knew, because I feel like it was such a great outing. And yeah, Nikki Bella obviously being the winner of that confrontation. And if you're the Bellas as a whole, you've got to be happy because you've made the enemy team implode because of your trap. And AJ was even saying, this was all devised by Nikki. So from an in-ring standpoint, it makes sense because, hey, she had a competitive matchup and she won. But even if you look beyond that in more extraneous circumstances, Nikki Bella still deserves it because she put a plan in motion and it worked exactly as she wanted it to.
Yep.
So I think that's an excellent choice, dude. And if I may, touch on very quickly with your honorable mention, completely agree with you. Rusev had an amazing segment tonight. And here's the thing. Cena initiated the confrontation when he ran down, and Rusev still got the better of him. God, he's awesome.
Yeah, and that's my thing, dude. Like, the reason that I had him as my honorable mention and Nikki as my high spot is because Rusev's match that he won was against a scrub. It was against Jack Swagger. Nobody gives a crap. Whereas
Right.
Nikki Bella, she won her match against arguably the number one contender for her championship in a match that she granted out of the kindness of her heart for really no good reason aside from the fact that she thought it would create a little bit of tension between the two tag partners.
Which, again, it did. Like, if you're Nikki
Well,
Bella...
and that, yeah, exactly.
So
but not only did it, but then she won the match and got what she wanted. Like, that's having your cake and eating it too, man. And that's what Nikki Bella did, and that's why she's my high spot.
Definitely, man. Nothing more needs to be said than that. On to our next segment. Well, yeah, I guess Raw request, but... this was the go home before Mania, so if any requests I would have would be, for the post-Mania Raw, and those are always traditionally.
Yeah, you know what, dude? We might as well just skip over Raw request because it's like making a request for the first episode of a new season of a TV show. You just don't know what to expect. So really, we're going to agree on this. Our Raw request is for the WrestleMania post-show Raw to be as awesome as it always is.
Exactly. We have standards, so live up to them.
Yeah.
But I know we can do this next segment, our main event segment, 30-second hot seat. So, Ashton, whatever you're packing this week, come on, lay it on me. So let's do it.
Well, I want to intentionally avoid anything about WrestleMania, which basically means that I can't talk about SmackDown either. So I'm literally just going to jump to Night of Champions, Wednesday in March edition, Lucha Underground and NXT.
Yes.
Who is going to be walking out of Wednesday as the NXT champion, the NXT Women's champion, the AAA Heavyweight champion, and the Lucha Underground champion? You have 30 seconds, and your time starts now.
Kevin Owens is going to retain against Finn Balor. Sasha Banks is going to retain against Alexa Bliss. Alberto El Patron is going to retain against Tejano, and Brian Cage is going to beat Puma for the championship. So I only see one title change of the 4 collective championship matches that we were getting Wednesday night.
Oh, man, you did it in less than 20 seconds. You should be so proud of yourself. But guess what? It's worth it. And you want to know why? Because we didn't give anything away, because you got to watch our preview and predictions on Saturday. Boom!
Suck it, audience! Yeah!
Whoa, what?
Yeah, sorry, I got really pumped there that we pulled that off. But, yeah, guys, we got a lot of content coming this week. I am very excited. This is going to be a momentous week for TwitWow because we have, obviously, our Wednesday night reviews, preview and predictions, and, of course, live reactions for WrestleMania. It's going to be insane. So, yeah, with that said, Ashton, do you have any concluding remarks you want to make about this Raw?
No, sir.
All right, neither do I. So with that said, this has been Raw. This has been TwitWow, the best wrestling podcast made for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans, on the web today. I'm John. That's my cohort and commentary, Ashton. Guys, be sure to comment and subscribe on YouTube. What did you think of this go-home show? Not only what did you think about the main event segment, but if you had gripes like we did, I'm going to up the ante a little bit. How would you have improved it? How would you have booked it? I'm very curious. Be sure to take the discussion over to Pwetov, an amazing pro wrestling group on Facebook, some of the kindest and most impassioned fans you'll ever meet. Also take the discussion over to our TwitWow subreddit that Ashton himself personally created. Would love to see some activity going on there. And as I already noted, we will see you again for our Wednesday Night War reviews, starting with Lucha Underground, where Brian Cage says to take on Prince Puma in a Boyle Heights street fight for the Lucha Underground World Championship. Will Prince Puma be able to stop the machine, or is Cage finally going to nab that world title? And the question ultimately that should be asked, is Conan's revenge finally coming? Till then, guys, tune in. Peace out.